Okay. All right. Welcome back, everybody, to Skin Tell Soul Tell, the Tribe Talk. I'm here today with Lexi B, Lo, and Ibri, and I'm Constance Monet. So,
Okay.
so today we got a few different topics on the list. So our first topic is going to be, why is it hard for women to apologize in relationships when they're wrong? And I want to start with you, Lo. I ain't gonna pick on you today.
So you're starting with the married people I see. I
Yes,
see.
yes,
This is the theme. This is the theme. I'll just be ready on each pod for the married person to go first.
yeah.
Uh, Formerly Tiny from the first pod, now going as low. That'd be me. Um, I think that's a loaded question, one, because it's coming from an outside perspective. Um, Generally the other person. So you may feel like you apologize a lot. I feel like as a woman, I apologize a lot for a lot of different things. I apologize more for things that are not my fault or out of my control than I feel like I do for things that I cause. Um, but in a relationship, I would say my tendency not to apologize as often as I think the other person would say is warranted would be because I apologize so much in the world as a whole. I don't want to have to do that all the time at home. So as a woman, I already feel like the world sees this as somewhat of an inconvenience, and I have to apologize for taking up too much space or saying things that may be controversial or having opinions in some cases. Um, so it's almost like it's you take your relationship for granted. I don't have to apologize for that here, or not as often here. Um, and in a relationship, probably a little bit of ego in there too. Like you mess up and you don't apologize for everything, so why should I? Now, growing me knows that's not the appropriate answer. That we all have to own our own stuff. But, I felt like that for a really long time. If you're not apologizing, why do I have to be the person who does it? Because it's not equal and reciprocated in all cases. And I feel like most of the time when one partner is complaining that the woman doesn't apologize or my partner's not apologizing, they're not always doing it either, or they're not apologizing for things that the other person feels like are important. You may apologize for one thing, but if I don't see it as important as weighted with other things, then it kind of doesn't count. I'm gonna leave it there.
Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to you, Lexi B. I know that we were talking earlier about both of us not being in relationships for a very long time,
Yeah.
but why do you feel like it was hard for you in your past relationships to apologize
It
when you
was
knew you
definitely
were
that
wrong?
part where Lo was like, you didn't apologize to me, so why am I finna apologize to you? Like for real. And at this point, I'm the victim here. I was the one that was wrong. So why am I the bitch to apologize when bro it's you who fucking up? It's not even me. Like, let's be for real. Like, so yeah, that was, the lower vibrational self. And I mean, I'm learning like sometimes just like to keep the peace, like you do have to bite that bullet. Like that should be burning you up on the inside sometimes. But you really like if overall your objective is peace and you love this person, you really just want to get over the hump. Uh oh. Where you go, Cotton Eye Joe? Anyway, what? Okay, there you go.
Sorry, y'all. Sorry.
I was say, who
Sorry.
got
My children want to be a part of the live stream, so
okay? Yeah, she
I had to.
me
I had
again.
to. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Lexi. Go ahead. You was in there.
No, sometimes it's just about being a bigger person. Like now I do my best to communicate properly, like really use the right words to express what I'm feeling. Um and not beat around the bush about it. Be as direct and like polite as possible. Tactful. That's the word. Direct and tactful as possible. And yeah, girl, that really be it. But yeah, I feel that because oof, apologizing take a lot sometimes. But if you're a recovering people pleaser, it don't. But in certain situations,
And I think
Still do. It's
I
still
hold
yeah, look, right. I was about to
I
say, but
hold in on
sometimes,
that sometimes.
yeah, but sometimes
And
we
because you're
like,
apologizing all day as a recovering people pleaser, it's like I just hand apologies out like
no,
confetti at
seriously,
a party, and it means nothing. So then
yeah,
by the time I have to
that's
give
be
an actual meaningful apology, it'd be stabbing my whole heart.
like, I feel that overstaying completely. Like,
Yes,
yeah, ooh, growth with an F, growth with an F.
exactly. Exactly.
Look at her.
Look, are you ready? Because you know it's coming to you. Are you giving the
Be
faces?
ready. Come on,
Ooh,
girl.
It's your turn. It's your turn.
Is it
So
my turn
what
yet?
you are the one. So this is Miss Long Term
She
Relationship right here.
she got to
Uh,
apologize for one face.
I don't think so. I don't know. I don't know. We go hear from her. Let me say that.
What
yes,
what we be saying and making jokes about? Big, big petty,
Big
big
petty.
petty.
Big
So
petty all
long
the
term, I think my immature little girl comes out because not only me, he's super competitive. So you can't just be left right. Oh no, I'm gonna try to prove you every way wrong. And when it gets to that very end, very, very, very end, he ain't gonna let up on it.
yeah.
Miss Monet, that's the streaming.
time. I'm sorry,
But
y'all. Everything in the house, Apple. Everything in
it's
the house just went
okay.
off from one phone call that I didn't even try to accept. Everything.
No, it's okay. No, but what I think it was more so me and him are very competitive. So a debate gets from 0 to 10 real quick. You're not gonna be right because I'm right. It just depends, and then it's just like we joke about it. It goes to the extreme, like, and if one of us is wrong, it's like, damn, I don't want to have to come back and say I'm right, I'm wrong. But you're right. It just eats us up. But if it's on like a serious, serious, serious note type stuff, I don't have all jokes aside. I don't have a problem with admitting where my wrongdoings are. Um, but it gets really big. What do you say, Lex? Your lower vibration stuff. So I think that's the whole Constance. I'm big petty. He is too. So if you can imagine what they look like in our house, and it is just like you got it, baby. All right.
You give in at a certain point. You be like,
Yes.
let me win the battle. Not today. Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. That part.
So now it's my turn.
Mm-hmm.
So listen, y'all. My petty so strong. It's
Big
so strong.
petty.
I'm not. I ain't gonna lie to nobody. Now I have apologized. How long it took, whole different story. But I have apologized. Okay. I have reached down in my petty bag of tricks and I pulled out that good one when it was time. I think to piggyback on each one of you ladies, like literally, I feel like what Lo said. I've been apologizing all day. You hear me? All day for something you didn't do, for something I didn't do, for something we didn't do. And then I get mad at you and I misplace a word. Yes, you deserve the apology. Now, where I am now, yes, low vibe. When you're in the space, you always are switching moods and vibrations, right? In the space, you might not get it from me because once my petty is out, it is just out. Every day I'm growing. Every day I'm trying to be better, but I know I'm not there yet. So I ain't gonna lie to nobody. My petty will come out and it will win the battle in the war. Even if we break up, I'm winning. Okay. I gotta win this because other things, other traumas made this a big battle and you don't even know what you're in. Okay. Because my petty is coming out and it's like, hey, I'm gonna win this. I want to make sure I'm right. Most of the time I am, but perception. Like most of the time I'm right. I'm just like, no, that's what it is. But I will come out and apologize because recently I kind of manifested him up, and then my little sister called him up. But my ex, I really wanted to say things to him. It wasn't even an apology. He was the best relationship I ever had because it was the healthiest relationship I ever had, even up until now in my life. I thought that he deserved positive words that I wish I had way back then, 10 years before, right? I wish I knew how to communicate with him properly to say, hey, it's not that I don't love you or you're not loving me good enough. It's really just that I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. And, this is a thing. So I am willing to apologize. It also took 10 years, y'all. So every day I'm growing, okay? Every day. I hope I'm doing better, but
It sounds
yeah,
like you are, girl. Better late than never. That's how the thing. That's how they say it.
listen.
Okay.
Well, and you know what? Us having the conversation, um, he appreciated everything I had to say because we were so, I think, heartbroken at the moment. It was hard to kind of get through the moment altogether. And
Mm-hmm.
I was so heartbroken. So we just there wasn't enough words. We didn't even have enough air in the room around us um, to get out of that situation differently. But I appreciated his apology and his words, and he told me he appreciated mine. So you're right. For some people, better late than never. If you didn't apologize to me though, way back then, keep that shit. I don't want it. I don't want it. Just hold on to it, okay? Just hold on to it because there's somebody who's gonna need it, and I want you to show up right the first
Ooh-wee.
time. I
Oh,
told y'all, I'm growing. I'm gonna
hey,
be better. One of these days, or I'm gonna find the one that's just for me. One of the two.
and
One of
slow
the two.
progress is better than no progress. I got a saying for every goddamn thing.
That's
Okay,
it.
slow
That's
progress
it.
is no progress. Okay, because this is all the stuff I be telling myself. Like, look, baby steps. Okay, bear with me. Love me through
Yes,
it.
I'm
And
better now. I'm a lot better than I was last year. I'm a lot better than I was last month. Ask low.
girl, you're a lot better than you were yesterday. Amen. All
Every
right
day.
now. See, look,
There we
that's
go.
really it.
Right.
Like,
All right. So our next topic is when is it the right time for you to take accountability in any relationship, not just a dating relationship, but in any relationship on for you to take responsibility on what you're allowing the other person to do to you in the relationship. If that made a lot of sense. I said a lot. Yes. I'm gonna just throw it out on the floor for anybody to pick it up.
all right,
Go
this
ahead, Lex.
look. I'm gonna say, look. You know, I gotta get into my Socrates bag.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Like a couple of, I think it's a couple times. Everybody's okay. This is where I like just being a female and dealing with shit that I just never thought I would fucking deal with. Like you really gotta acknowledge like everybody's threshold is different.
Yes.
Everybody, what's gonna do it for you ain't gonna do it for the next, and the one after that, and everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
it really could be a few different things. Like, but what comes to mind for me personally is well, right now in this state of life that I'm in right now, what comes to mind is if me and that person are not on the same accord and that significant other, friend, whatever you are to me, you're in my life, we're not on the same accord as far as like our growth and our goals. Like I don't like my biggest fear is being stagnant. So if you are somebody
Mine
who
too.
ain't, you know what I'm saying? If you somebody who just cool in your misery and don't want to grow and you ain't even thinking about the bigger picture, you just really stuck in your right now, your month, your week, your day, I can't kick it with you. Can't kick it with you, skate with you, none of that. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like I can't do none of it.
How
Yeah.
So
many times do we have that conversation? And she
yeah,
hit it on the nail.
Hmm.
and that, and then secondly, when fudge, what was the second thing? Dang, I said can't get it go. And just when we just, I'm about to say it's the same thing, though. Just when we're not on the same page like anymore. Like I had unfortunately, like you can't. Okay, you can't. You can have a plan for your life. Some people, it
Yeah.
really does work down to the T where it's like, okay, this age I'm gonna do this, this age I'm gonna do this, and they really be on their schedule. But some people just
Yeah.
don't fucking work like that.
But even that schedule goes awry. So you live,
Exactly.
everybody lives it out. Yeah.
Exactly. I used to always say I don't plan because shit's not gonna go as planned. But now I'm learning planning is a major, major part of all of this. Like that's where a
Yeah.
lot of stress and anxiety come from. But that's a different story. So yeah, just simply put, we not on the same page. Like as far as like our plans for each other. Also, like okay, by this time I was thinking, shit,
I want to go next now
this.
because you rolled it out right there.
So yeah, so
Yes.
all the
So go ahead.
not a girl, but all things.
Yeah. Yeah. So my guy best friend gave me this question topic for today, right?
Mm.
And you just said what you just said. Like,
I love when men have these questions. Go ahead.
yeah. So this is a man proposed question. This is what he wanted to
Shout out
know,
to
right?
him.
Yes. Shout out to him. He know who he is. We'll leave it there. But
Sushi hoe.
sorry. First of all, oh my gosh.
I'm gonna eat
But
it for
go ahead, eat your fry, girl.
thanks.
But people are funny to me. I'm gonna get to my point, but I gotta start here. I gotta start here.
Mm.
It amazes me how big fear lives in us, period, just in general, in context. But it's even funnier how people will be in a situation, any relationship in life, I don't care which one it is, will be in it and be hurting. I mean, on the ground crying, talking to God, and wondering why He not listening today. You understand? Hurting and make all the excuses on why not to leave that relationship and then turn around and blame the other person for it. Literally say, it's your fault that I'm feeling this way. No, it's not. It's absolutely not. It's only the person who's making the decision to stay for the abuse that they're saying they're feeling, right? Because we could only assume that if you're really feeling abused, you would leave. If you're really feeling like this person is tearing you down, you would leave, right? So if you don't, then what are we to assume? You like abuse, right? This is something that you enjoy. It is something that has happened to me and that I have experienced feeling for other people when I'm not taking the accountability I'm supposed to be taking. And I want you to be better. I want you to do better. And I'm trying to give you this love that hope can make you understand how much I need you to do better or how good I need you to do. Um, and it doesn't work. At this point, it doesn't take me as long as it has before because I have been in a whole relationship for a year with a person and knew for that whole year at the end of this year, I'm leaving this man. But I'm just sitting there like, no, you're making me mad because you're not doing better. You didn't do better. Why aren't you being the best you? Why aren't you listening to me? Why aren't you doing this? It's your fault. I'm miserable. I'm crying because of you. And then, all these years later, you work on yourself. You do these little things. Reading this book called Calling In. It's called Calling In the One. And the full book is literally about it's you read about 3 pages of a story that the author's telling you. They're giving you like examples of how these things look, and then you do a full workbook of work. And it's not about calling in love from another person, it's about calling your love back to you from the world, because you're saying when these people are not doing what you want and you're blaming them, not only is it their fault that you're hurting, but it's their responsibility to make you feel better. And this book is teaching me over time, because I've been reading it for about 2 years. That's how crazy it is. I've gotten to spaces where I could no longer move forward in my journey on figuring out the growth that I needed in love. So I had to stop the book because I wasn't there yet. I would get to some work that I wasn't ready to do yet, right? But through that, I've realized like people tend to turn those pointing fingers out and forget all these fingers are saying no, you. It's more towards you than towards that other person. And it's just crazy to me. But I always I realize now I've always accepted accountability, because when I feel it's done, I do say that. Though the time has shortened from back then to now, because from a year now it's like, hey, this is my time schedule. Year one, this is what we do. At year two, I understand that everybody's not on that schedule, and I don't expect nobody to change their schedule for me. I expect for you to get out the way so that the person whose schedule is on aligned to mine can fit with mine. But at 2 years, I don't understand why we still dating. What are we doing? What are we doing? We need to be married. Like, we're playing games. I don't want to share houses with you and do all of these things and play house. When we could be married, and we could have been 2 years in right now. If we could get divorced, at least we had 2 years. So like, yeah, that's my thing. Like, I try to do it as soon as I feel a disconnect. Hey, let's have a conversation. After the conversation, hey, okay, so this is just what this is. Okay, got it. So I think we should go from wherever that is at this point. And it seems so much shorter now. Like, I have so much less patience because I moved that way. But at the same time, for me, it's like, it's not even about patience. I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to hurt you. I don't want you to hurt me. I don't want to have my time wasted. So let's get out the way. Somebody is for you. Exactly.
Now
Move
get.
it on. Yes, sure. Ibri, Lo, who coming in? No, Ibri, go ahead, because you over there trying to hide. I see with all them smiles and everything.
She got
Oh
to
no,
hit
you're
unmute
muted.
on that mic.
It might. We can't hear you.
It's that live
Oh,
stream. It cut in and out in the
yeah.
media. I think for the most part, you and Lexi summed it up a lot. Um, I do agree with both of them. But when we ask the question, when is it time to hold yourself accountable in every aspect of every relationship? So the first thing that I thought about was problem situational. It doesn't have to be like detrimental, but in general, in things that manifest similar. So what is it? What's the common denominator in this? So kind of picking back on off of what's the you point that finger, but the three fingers point back at you. So if it happened right now in this relationship, regardless of whatever it is, was similar, and did it happen in another relationship? You get what I'm saying? So I kind of feel like, especially it's a self reflection, except self examination on how or what could have been done better on my behalf. I mean, now by no means am I listening to other person's discretions or not holding the other person accountable. Um, but I most definitely think that, especially if it's in a negative space, like what's the common denominator? Like, is there something that I need to fix, or is it flat out you're right, you wrong, you wrong? What's the situation? There is no black and white. I mean, no gray area. It's only black and white. So
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of where I'm at with it.
Sorry about that, y'all. The children wanted to make another cameo. Right. I heard you. I'm sorry. I was here.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
But that's kind of like my little take on it in a sense. Yeah, basically that's my take on it. If I can go back and do some things different, I mean, I most definitely would. I think we all can say that the younger version of you, like, now why do we allow that? Why what's up with that?
Yeah.
So most definitely I think, and everybody's time frame with things are different, but I think when you get pushed to really, all right, let's grow up. What's the problem? Let's really grow. Because growth, it manifests on, literally different for everybody. So when you just get to that
Well, you
threshold,
go ahead. Go ahead and start. Go ahead and close this out on this good question while I get Ibri
Sure.
back.
Um, I feel like accountability is tricky, right? For me, typically in a relationship, regardless of if it's somebody I'm dating or a friend, um, someone in the circle, I accept a lot of accountability, responsibility, and ownership for things that aren't mine. Similar to the apology thing, where I'm apologizing for things that aren't my fault. I take accountability for things in relationships that aren't mine to hold. And I know that for a certain period of time, if this person is important to me, I'm going to allow you some leeway. like we were talking about last time. I'm going to give you some grace because you've been there for me. But that accountability can't tip too far uneven. If I'm assuming responsibility for everything, I'm taking accountability for everything. That's not fair to me. That's not fair to you. Um, and if you can't even see where I'm showing up for you or for us, that's a problem. Um, and I think, younger me thought this is as good as it's going to get. And unhealed younger me thought I deserve this. This is this is what I deserve. This is what fits. I don't I don't deserve a healthier relationship. I don't deserve. I should be taking accountability for these things because if I had more control over the situation by assuming accountability, we wouldn't be here. But it's the illusion of control because I have none
Mm.
outside of myself. And the older I've gotten, I've really been trying to work at balancing the accountability in my relationship and getting closer to 50-50. I still don't feel like I don't know when I'm going to get to 50-50 here on an even basis. Right now, we might be about 60-40 on a good day. But I think it's that people pleasing. To people please, you have to assume the responsibility because it's been something in your control that you can change or improve or handle. Um, but it puts a lot of pressure on me as a person, mentally, physically, how I show up for my family, how I show up at work. It's all affected because I'm working on my boundaries this year, and accountability would be a solid boundary. This is yours, this is mine, this is where I can help you. And if it seems like I care more about your stuff than you do, maybe I shouldn't be here.
Exactly.
Maybe this isn't a good fit for either one of us. Because if I see that and I stay, I'm wasting our time, mine and yours. Because neither one of us are going to get what we need at the end of the day. Because if I don't tell you there's a problem, you assume everything's fine. And then
Mhm.
when I've hit my max, you're going to be like, well, we just broke up out of nowhere. I don't know what's going on because that communication wasn't established. If I'm not
Exactly.
bringing you with me and then I decide I'm done to you, the glass floor just broke. And then now
Yeah.
you're falling from this, you know,
Free fall.
skyscraper building all the way to the ground because you're like, I thought we were solid. What happened? And whether that's a friend or a partner or a relationship or anything, if you're not communicating those things, then the other person only knows their side of it. And then that's the story they run with, or the one, if it was me, the story I'm telling myself. And Brene Brown is the one that in one of her specials was talking about phrasing things as the story I'm telling myself is. And that really changed a lot of my communication and how I see my relationships, especially with accountability, because it takes a statement that could seem aggressive and it makes it um, easier to pass, more palatable while still being direct. It doesn't feel like an attack. The other person in my experience, has been more willing to listen and have dialogue instead of a debate.
I feel that.
Okay. Yes.
Overstand. It's a lot
Exactly.
that could be said about this topic because even in listening to y'all, into Constance and Low talk, like what you just said about the, of course I lost it, but sometimes we get stuck. I can't say we. I've gotten stuck in the point where it's just like it's just easier to accept accountability, like because I know good and fucking well this person is not gonna say what I need them to say, or they're not going to understand where I'm trying to come from.
So why
So
waste the time?
yeah, I ain't gonna waste my time. Like
Hmm.
whatever, it's cool. But then yeah, everybody has their breaking point too. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
what you're talking about, like it's like I'm catching myself being devil's advocate a lot lately because perspective really is key.
Yeah.
Like you said, we have to take accountability because it's that saying like when somebody shows you who they are, you have to believe them.
You have to.
And
Mm-hmm.
what we was talking
I,
about last, like sometimes we really just be caught in our own delusions of what we want this to be, or what, or the potentiality of a situation. Like, oh, well, this could be whatever, and it's like, nah, man,
no.
look at what it is. Look, like we gotta bring
It's
our,
showing you. It's
and
like the
yeah, that's what
Joker smiling at you.
exactly, and that's where the
Mhm,
black and white shit come in, because that the black and white goes in with the boundaries too. Like,
mhm.
this
Yeah.
is really what it is. This is what I wanted. Like, am I tripping if this is really not in the line of what I wanted? Like, no, you're not. So, yeah, that's so much to be said about that.
So true.
Just shout
So
out to the
true.
girlies growth.
Exactly. Exactly. Because we working hard on that. It is quite a journey. Let's say that.
For sure. Ooh,
Yes.
for sure. Ooh.
Bree, you first this time. Okay. I'm just telling you right now. You ready? It's not that bad. It's not that bad. So, on the path of what we're talking about, what is one of your biggest insecurities in a relationship?
Mm,
Like your personal insecurity, something that you know happens every single time or that you do. Just what's one of your biggest insecurities in a relationship?
you gonna have to come back to me on that one. Cause
Okay.
I'm not gonna even lie to you. We all have some. I definitely have some. I don't know which one I want to share though. So
So,
that's the piece. So I don't want to hold it up. So come back. I mean, come back to me on that one.
I'm going to go to low.
Girl, you haven't started one yet either.
oh my
Like
God.
they just keep making you. Okay. Okay.
It's okay. You
Oh,
know what? That's why I be ready. You ready?
okay. Go ahead, Lex.
Here you
I'm ready, but go ahead.
go.
Take
Ahead.
it off, Lex. We'll
Okay.
come out to do it.
Okay. I'll go ahead. I'll start it. So, to me, my biggest insecurity in a relationship is the fact that I don't believe a man is going to make me feel safe.
Ooh, that
It's
yes.
it's truly a self. It's not self-taught intentionally, but it doesn't even matter what he shows me, and it's sad, which is why I've been single for so long now, 5 years about. Um, but I do not feel secure being vulnerable with a man and feeling as though he is going to secure my heart and make me feel safe. Because
Yes.
securing my health heart is making me feel safe. That's it.
Very
You
much so.
providing safety. I know how to build a foundation. I want you to add to the foundation. But if you can't make me feel safe, you can put all the concrete down you want to. You can't stay. So, and that's why I know it's a personal insecurity because no man can live up to that ever. No man can ever live up to that. He can't. There's no fight you can put. You can show and prove all you want, but I don't personally believe that feeling of vulnerability in any way makes me secure. Being that vulnerable makes me feel like I want to throw up in my mouth and fall into a fetus and cry because the anticipation of ache, not just heartache, soul ache, body ache, that sickness you feel once you've been thrown under the bus by somebody who said they loved you. Um, the hurt and how long it takes to get through it and get over it. It is so much, it is so strong. And sometimes that fear outweighs my choice to be happy. And I don't want to force a man into trying to deal with that. That insecurity is big for me. It's something that I'm trying to work on more actively this year because I know it's such a problem. I had that same ex boyfriend that I sat down and had that conversation with. The thing he told me that it ached my heart because I didn't think anybody could see it. He said that no matter how much I loved him and no matter how big my love was for him and his family and everybody around me, my family and everything like that, he always felt like he was on the outside looking in our relationship because I did not let him love me the way I loved him. I took away his option to give me that much love, and I thought he couldn't tell because I was so insecure with being vulnerable with anybody that I was like, nah, I can show up and be the good everything. I could cook, I could clean, I could do all these things. I can make sure that you feel loved, and he did. He just didn't feel like I was letting him love me, so he felt like at any time he could lose me. So, you know, I hate that insecurity, but I'm working on it, guys. I'm trying to be better, as I said before. Really this year for sure, because I started the year off in a very vulnerable position,
Mhm.
and I didn't think it would be the way that it went. And it's everything goes according to plan, as they say. Um, but the biggest thing that happened was when I started the year, I was like, I don't want to feel this way anymore. Taking accountability. I said, I do not want to make myself feel, um, I don't want to be Superwoman. I don't want to be so strong. I don't want to be resilient. I don't want to do none of that no more. I just want to lay there with my hand like this and go, oh, my
A
toe,
damsel,
oh,
yes.
my
Soft like that.
fingernail. Oh my God. That I can't fix it. I don't want to, I don't want to look at it. I just want to
You're
put my
not even
glasses on for
masculine,
sure.
girl.
For sure.
Yeah.
Not even just my masculine. I just don't want to be in charge because I feel like I pull both sides. I am in my masculine a lot more because I'm a single parent and I'm always just on the go. And I'm a workaholic. And that is a very male trait. I'm a workaholic. I like to work. I like to get to work. Whatever it is, I can focus in. Now, when my family comes into it, I instantly turn into the feminine mommy, the protector, and like, oh, forget work, forget everything. Let me fend. But I really want to just be in the balance, like you said in the last topic. Oh, like I want the balance. I know it won't be 50-50. It's not possible. And I'm okay with that. I want to at least get to like 70-30, 60-40. Any of that instead of like 90-10. Because right now I'm like 90-10. And I might be 95 2 and then 3. Okay. There's a lot of stuff happening in there. But I I the only way I see myself getting through that insecurity, working through it, learning to offer a piece of vulnerability is to put the action into it, to try and to work on it and to talk about it like we are right now, because for me it's serious. Like tears come out. Like it really I don't know how to fix it. And I'm like, I need to do something because I don't want to be in charge. I don't it don't suit me. I'm tired. My shoulders hurt. My back hurt. I just want to lay there on the pillow and just be like, oh, like a little puppy. You know them little puppies they put on the pillow with the little crown? I want to be just like that. Just that's it. I'm
I
tired. So
understand that completely.
so I got to work on this so I cannot be tired anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like that's almost a compound interest insecurity because
Mm-hmm.
it's going to bring in so many other facets of the relationship that
Mm-hmm.
this is your core, right? But
Yeah.
since you're not trusting of a man to make you feel safe with your heart, you now watch everything he says and everything he does because I can't
Yes.
trust you and I'm looking for you to make a mistake so that I
Mm-hmm.
can kick you and weed you out, and then
Yes.
that deters other parts of the relationship.
It
So it
gives.
may not be the core
Mm-hmm.
thing, but that was a tough one with a lot of interconnected relationship pieces of how it can be triggered.
And I know for a fact that it, because of that, like you said, with it being interconnected, it makes me feel withdrawn. It makes me withdrawn from other people in a relationship and unintentionally because I don't want to just feed all of what I'm feeling on you. I have a very big energy and I don't want to smother you with the fact that I feel so insecure at this moment because it is very big. It's fear. And so it withdraws me back. It messes up a lot because there's no way to make a person feel like they're there if they if you can't even feel them there.
Yeah. Say devil's advocate.
Hmm.
Because that's kind of where mine was along the lines of what yours is, but I called mine self sabotage. Like that's it's not necessarily
I do that too. I
but yeah, it's an
understand.
issue. It's like even like you said, when you was like, it don't matter what that man doing, I'd be like, facts.
He can be the
Like you
best.
said,
He's
look at me.
showing up and showing out.
Exactly, showing up and showing out, even things that I didn't even think that I needed or wanted. You
Hmm.
shit be going real good, but you always got that one little piece in your brain, like who the fuck else?
Who
Who
and
else
what?
is this man doing this with? Because I know it ain't just it. It can't be with just me. Like, and it's like, but it can. And it's
Yeah.
funny. I was watching another podcast about that too. It's such a thin line between proper communication and reassurance and like really
Yeah.
like and get into that like because the guy was saying like if in my history this is what happened and this is the outcome, I'm gonna ask you a question, and depending on how you answer that question, that's how I'm gonna get like that's how I'm gonna move forward with it. You know what I'm saying? The girl's like,
Yeah.
but that's too much. That's self-sabotage. Not necessarily. That
Mm-mm.
man is properly communicating and coming to you with his issue. And if it's like, and honestly and truthfully, if it's something that you've never dealt with or that you don't know about, you can say, well, baby, I don't know nothing about that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, or y'all just relay experiences. Like, just being able to have that open communication is really what helped too. And I'm forcing myself. You can't hear me?
Yeah,
Oh,
I can hear you.
Aaron can't
Okay.
hear
Yeah. Can you hear? You hear us now?
me.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
It looks like when she goes on mute, it likes the microphone a little
Oh
Cut
bit.
yeah, because you
everybody
don't
off.
need. Hmm. All
See,
right.
I would
There we
stop being
go.
a hater.
Go
But
ahead, Lexi. This is trying
yeah,
to.
look, I'll kind of yeah, like that's essentially it. Like communication is key. Communication with all this stuff, like being, but also with communicate. It's all hand in hand because this is how my brain works. I'm like, even with communication, you have to be okay with being vulnerable because
Yes.
I have to be able to be upfront and direct with you about my feelings. Like, and granted, you may not handle them the way I want you to, but I have to keep going forward and be like, all right, look, I didn't like how you did that. Can we try this or whatever the case may be? And it's hard because like you be so I knew that shit was gonna happen. I knew that was like you just be so into it. You be like,
Always the answer.
yeah, like because you was always right. You know what I'm saying? Like you always right. So it's just really like, yeah, get out your own head and accept
Hmm.
that you are worth beautiful things and that this really could be one of those beautiful things. Per.
Yes. Yes. You know, it's so funny you said, oh my gosh, it just went away. That's what
Mm,
kids do. They just snatch all your thoughts.
per.
Um,
Self
I don't know, you
sabotage?
know what? No, it was one of the last things you just said about expectations.
Mm-hmm.
Expectations. Like expectations set us up in the worst kind of ways because we have an expectation that something's going to go a way that it could never possibly go because only you know your expectations. Nobody else. Even when you say it to another person, it is still not being received exactly the way your brain processes things with the knowledge that you have. So the expectation has to just go out the window every day.
Yeah,
Every day.
very much so. Very much so. One guy taught me that this last dude I was talking to, I keep having to say his name because I still be freaking flabbergasted at his big age that he was acting like this. That man was 47 years old, running a fucking muck. Okay, like he was
Age don't
not.
make you an
It
adult.
don't. It
It
don't.
just
But
No,
what
does.
it's
he used
not.
to always say is he used to always be like, I
Old
don't have any
fool.
expectations.
Oh, like
Old
Yeah,
grandma.
fool.
It's like,
yeah,
mm,
but he used to always be like, I don't have any expectations. And I'm like, that's smart. Cause really that's how you set yourself the fuck up. Cause people not raised like you,
exactly.
they definitely don't think like you. So
No, and they never will. Even
mm-mm.
if they raise like you. Listen. I got siblings, younger
Hey, I was
siblings,
about
and
to say
none
my
of us think the
siblings.
same. Now we move the same. We have like things that are the same, but
Hmm.
I love them to death, and they think I'm a nutbag, and I think that they are too. But it's because we're no matter how it is, we all are the same, lived in the same house, but we did not process this world the same. There's no
Yeah,
way our brains don't run on the same wavelength. It's impossible.
that's
So
for sure.
yeah,
That's for sure. For
yes,
sure.
okay.
Oh, child.
Uh, uh,
Aaron. She
We
thought
circle back around
uh,
on
she
me.
thought we was
yeah,
her.
So we circle back around on
yes,
me.
yes,
Okay, so earlier when we think about this, the biggest insecurity aside from
yeah.
aside from aside from the normal girly, all women get you like start picking. Oh my god, is this okay? Is this okay? Is this okay? Aside from that, I
Yeah.
think weirdly somehow I know what I'm trying to say. So follow me because we know my thought process. Um, I think with letting go and knowing, can you guys hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Perfect.
letting go and knowing that it will be okay. So if this somewhat is borderline on how or what you guys are saying, because for me, if you know me, you know I'll run the 4 or 5 jobs up real quick,
Hmm.
like real
Yeah.
quick. I'll accept. I'm gonna do this.
Hmm.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do this, and I'll run myself to where I can't run it no more.
Hmm.
Inadvertently though, but why? You get what I'm saying? It's an insecurity of mine to let go because I do have a partner. You get what I'm saying?
Hmm. Yeah.
So I would catch, or he would often sit yourself down somewhere. It's fine. We got it.
It's
But I
not just
think
you no more.
I think that's that
Hmm.
childhood trauma too. When
Yeah.
you don't or refuse to
Mm,
go without. You get
not
what I'm
ever.
saying?
Hmm.
So I think that's
Mhm.
where that whole I work and I definitely get that from my mom for sure, for sure. I'm gonna figure something out. I'm gonna get the craft in. I'm gonna go get this job, that job to be overly okay. Like I think it's one of those things to stop and let go. You got a partner. You don't have to try to. I don't have to operate in fear in that area. So learning to. Are we still there? Connected?
Mhm. Yes.
Okay. So learning how to let go and be okay, and that be okay with being okay. You know, and accepting that he's telling you it's cool, it's okay, and getting out my own head of, oh yeah, I can't, I can't. At some point, I think it's good to work as much and do things, but then again, you can harm yourself when you don't sit back and relax yourself and take a break physically, most definitely mentally, and you do more harm than good. So I think that insecurity, because we would often, I guess you can say, we have our little spats about stuff or whatnot, but ultimately, like, sit down somewhere, we good, like, it'll be figured out. It's fine, it's fine. And I think I can worry so much with worrying without need, if it's not needed to worry as much as I worry. And I think it's a unconscious, dormant, and it manifests childhood trauma type. I got to get this
Mhm.
done because I'm not about to have to go without, or I'm just not doing it. So I think some way it can be detrimental when you don't fall back. But knowing, I think it's definitely an insecurity of mine that if I don't have my calendar stuffed to the break, like I'm failing somewhere, this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen, this, and you worry. Let me say I worry myself on the what ifs,
Hmm.
and I'll overdo it. So I definitely feel like that's a insecurity that definitely manifests.
I like that one. That was
Agreed.
good for you.
Mhm.
I like
Agreed.
it.
Mhm.
That was
Agreed.
a good one. I'm glad that's the one you pulled out. I like it
I'd also
because it was.
say when
Be real.
I've been trying hard that if I have a thought come through as a what if, it's intrusive and I need to
Oh,
not listen to it
Hmm.
because
Yeah.
that's my mental self sabotage of myself.
there you go.
Yes.
Okay,
That's
what
Yes.
if
it. That's
all
what
of this?
if.
And then
That
I
is it.
do this unnecessary personal spiral on stuff
Yeah.
and it's draining.
And it's not
Um,
reality.
but I have to
Hmm.
identify this is a what if scenario. This isn't fact. This isn't what happened. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
separate that piece from what's real.
Yep.
But even like deflecting, trying to get your mind to go, okay, we on what ifs. What are all the great things that could pop? What are the great what ifs? Okay, let's think about
Oh
all
my
the great
gosh.
what ifs that can
No,
happen.
we ain't
You
And
know
talking
then
what?
about those
all
We
yet.
can't
Yes.
get look.
Most
No.
You
definitely.
can't find those in insecurities, but you
So,
know what's so
you
crazy?
got sometimes it's
Yeah.
way hard, but sometimes you really gotta fake it till you make
I
it.
had
Okay, that's all you
listen.
gotta say it for
I was just
everything.
gonna
Look,
say that. Yes, I was just
yeah,
gonna say that you got to
cause
do something
we
because
gonna
I've
drive yourself
started
awesome.
journaling about it. That's what I
Hmm.
started doing, doing a journal of everything. Lo gave me the idea, and well, her idea had to do with me being a fairy. Because one day y'all gonna see me. I'm gonna have my wings on. I'm gonna be a whole
That's
fairy
gonna
for
be
you
dope.
guys. It is not gonna be
Did
Halloween.
I?
That's who I am on
Right
the
into the
inside.
mouth,
I'm
just like
becoming a
her.
fairy. Okay, but I started journaling every day, even if it's I mean, literally like 3, 4 lines, not even a full sentence, just words, just words. Everything I do in a day. My what ifs will send me so out of control. That insecurity of not having safety starts the what ifs, starts to beat me up about me not making myself feel safe. And they send me into the craziest spiral. I've been having to like put down, okay, yeah, what if I was this way or did that or felt this way? But let me look at this book. let me let me grab this. Cause somebody I wrote one day when I was in a good happy mood about how beautiful I was that day, right? I
Exactly.
really needed, I realized like I really do need the
Yeah.
physical, direct touch to feel view of all the things that I did do so that I could counterbalance those what ifs.
Yes.
Counter
Do
That's why, to stop the, I'm gonna say this wrong. I'm sorry, y'all. To stop the what ifs from happening, I need to be able to go to something and say, hey, this is an actual me writing down. I experienced this right here too. Not just the what ifs, I experienced this too, not just the bad stuff that brings up the trauma from childhood and brings up the insecurity, but these are the things that I did. These are the things that other people did. This is what also good happened. So I can remember it, because you know your brain don't work good when what if come up. What if be like,
Boy,
you only know me. Listen, and we
you
are
cannot
petty. So
prevent
you
forest
ready? Yeah, that exactly.
do
All
you
right,
feel
Lo.
like that? Do you feel like? No, I got a question back for you on that before you
Okay,
get
go
it to
ahead.
me.
Go ahead.
Uh, do you feel like reading your own words, your own positive things about what yourself and what you've done, has been more meaningful to you than calling somebody and having an external person who may love you, see you for you, and not be trying to manipulate you? I'm be clear, these for the right reasons.
Right.
Tell you the same thing.
Absolutely.
Okay, I
Because the
missed the
problem.
question. Say it again. What did you say?
Okay, go ahead. Go
Low,
ahead.
say it again.
I said, I asked Constance, if going back and reading her journal entries that she has wrote positive things about herself, things that she's done, have more of an impact than calling and talking to an outside party. Even given that party's giving her real information, they're doing it for the right reasons. It's the same thing she wrote on the paper, but does it mean more reading what she wrote?
Yes, because yes. The answer is yes. Reason why is because it's me. The problem is the insecurities on the inside. So no matter how you guys see me, no matter what everyone else sees, I can't see it. That's the problem. That's the disconnect. That is why what if it becomes bigger than me, because I don't see it. I don't remember it. You guys see it and remember it because it's like my action reel. You know, when you watching the movie, you catch the quick pieces of action, you them good pieces. When you go to the movies, you be like, when this part gonna happen, right? I'm the person living the when this part gonna happen. So all I remember is, oh, it didn't happen, or oh, it did, but it took this long. I took this beating for it, or I took this for it, or however it was emotionally, spiritually, physically, I was beat down for it. So that's all I see is I'm walking myself back into this thing. The insecurity is with me. So when I see my writing, me, what I knew I put down, it's like, oh, you saw it that day. So come on, let's conjure it up. Where are the rest of it? It was more. There's more. There's more that you remember. You can't hear me? You can't? Okay. You muted. But but yeah, so there's more that's inside. It's not just what I wrote, but I'm looking at exactly how I felt about me on this day. So that no matter how I feel right now about me, it doesn't mean as much. Right now, is a Lexi. You muted.
I was just in
Yeah.
agreement, girl.
Yeah. So like that's yeah, like that's the biggest thing because what I noticed was, especially just growing up and being the firstborn, like
Mm,
being the oldest,
that's a lot.
you don't have time to accolade yourself because there's somebody right behind you a lot. The more the merrier, as they say, right? So it's always time to turn and say, hey, but you too. Hey, but don't worry, you can get there. Hey, but da 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 da. You spend a lot of time, like you said earlier, Lexi V,
Hmm.
people pleasing,
Yeah.
becoming this people pleaser, having carrying that idea like, hey, I got to make sure everybody else feels good. Doesn't matter how I feel. I just smile. I just show up. I do the the mannequin, pretty much.
No facts,
Be cute, be there, be happy, get
and
out
that
of the way,
is
right?
draining. Yeah.
Super draining,
Mm.
super duper draining. So you practice that for 30 years. You can't remember the good stuff sometimes. And sometimes what
Mm,
I hate about it is it gives me such a jaded preview of my past. Um, that's why I need to see it because I don't see all those good things that other people can remember from a picture. I only see how much it hurt at that moment.
I
And
feel
that's not the only feeling that you actually have. That's not the only thing you experience. But it's if it's the biggest thing, it becomes all you remember. So me writing my own personal, it's not even just a journal. It's seeing I'm making jots like I folded clothes today, or I did homeschool. I decided to do homeschool, but still, when it comes to it, everyone around me has said I don't give myself the credit I deserve for doing even the things that I think I'm supposed to do. You know, I
Real
believe.
quick, can I pause you?
Go ahead.
So you think you know where I'm gonna go with
I
this,
know.
right?
Go ahead.
So you might see the credit, but I tell you all the time. I think I said in the last one, you are the person who will build a ladder to the heavens. Give her a book, she gonna figure that shit out. There is nothing, and it just amazes me how we all self sabotage or we don't see the
oh no.
Oh no.
Come on in the room.
As soon as she started talking too. I'm gonna wait till she come back. Hold on. We might have her back. No, she's still frozen.
The
There she go.
internet.
There you
Hello.
go.
okay.
Okay.
It paused when I was saying that, but I
Yeah.
tell you all the time, like, God damn, girl, talk about superwoman, like,
Mm-mm.
legitly. Are we paused again?
No, it's not
Mm,
by choice.
No.
I was listening to you. It's just not by choice. Like, oh, she's frozen. Oh man. She gonna try to come back in. Okay, hold on. There we go. Okay,
Okay.
got you. Go ahead. Yeah, you wasn't paused, but go ahead.
Lord help me. Okay, so legitly, like, girl, I feel like you super. Just what they call that hoe. I mean, what they call that woman, Wonder Woman.
I love the cleanup. I love the grown up cleanup. Whoa, wait, I'm not trying to.
like,
You know,
like
just
real shit. Like,
yeah.
legitly, like y'all, just Lex, just. I'm trying to tell you, girl. Just over time, the girl is like, I don't know how the fuck you do that, but okay. You know what the fuck. And it's
But
crazy that you
it's
don't,
being
I mean, you don't
insecure.
ever see yourself. You don't. That's why
I don't
can't
see it.
nobody tell me as a single mama shit can't get done. I don't want to hear that bullshit. I don't. And even with the circumstance and then like the extra circumstances on top of that shit, like I don't want to hear it. All of it is excuses because I'm literally hands on watching somebody do it. So yeah, that friend that's gonna build a motherfucking ladder to the heavens, that's her. Like that's her. So you can proceed, but
You know why?
you can
This is why.
proceed.
Truthfully, this is why. And I love to hear it about myself because you have to have positive reinforcement. My secondary reinforcement comes in as you guys. The first part is I gotta reinforce myself because I gotta learn how to self-soothe. And I never did that as a child. I didn't have the opportunity to learn to self-soothe, right? But I'm gonna build a letter to the heavens because I said we're gonna get there. And I am just a person. It's not about being the firstborn. It's not about anything. My personality is, if I say I'm going to do something, I stand on that. You don't have to be my friend. You don't have to like me. But what you cannot say is, I didn't do what I said I was going to do in this life. I don't care about the rest of it. If I knew I wanted to have kids, when I became a mom, under any circumstance, I'm going to be the mother that I want to be. You understand? At all costs. I don't want to be Superwoman. I don't want to be Wonder Woman. I don't need a cape. Shit, I don't get to wear one half the time because the kids gonna take it. They're gonna want to play with it, okay? But the thing is, like, I had them. Those are my responsibilities. They are not a burden on my life. They did not come to me ill intendedly. Who feels how they feel and what everyone else does, their decisions are theirs. My decision is that I want my children to live a certain kind of lifestyle. So I need to get to this business. I need to figure it out. I have to figure it out. There is no option. I realized yesterday, I was giving myself positive affirmations. I said, hey, you never lost. I never lost because I'm here and I have the kids that they said I never was going to have. And I have the life that I want to have for my kids. It may not be what everyone else wants and what everyone else has or likes, or even my family. They may not be like, oh, whoop-de-doo that she has the best life. I don't care how anyone else feels. For my kids, I go above and beyond. For me, I'm learning to go above and beyond. If I would have known way back when to protect me the way I protect all the people I love, y'all wouldn't even know me as this person. I'd be a whole nother crazy person, like a whole nother crazy person, because I just have established this persona to, I guess, everybody around me that, like, I'm going beyond. But for me, it's like, no, this is what I'm supposed to do. And I'm trying to come out of that because part of it is what I'm supposed to do. It's my responsibility. Get to it. Ain't no pat on the back for that. But I need a pat. I need to, I'm gonna take a couple of them, like
As
just
you
a
should.
few, like just a few, because what I'm doing is putting myself between a rock and a hard place and not accepting any of the good. Like I said, the insecurity, only accepting what didn't happen, what didn't go good, and I don't want to do that no more. Damsel, y'all see it? Y'all see it? There he is. He made his. He's been trying to tell everybody he's pretty. That's why I have to cut it off.
And I have a funny.
Okay, Lo, you the last one
All
now.
right,
You
all
gotta answer so
right.
we gonna wrap this night up because these kids is not gonna take no more.
It's not enough.
Mhm.
Um, I would say my biggest relationship insecurity is that I have a deep fear that I'm not going to be enough.
Mm,
Oh, yeah.
that's
And I don't know what enough looks like. It's not like a quantitative thing. But it's a solid fear in my relationship that I'm not going to be enough. Now, the biggest part of the insecurity does come sexually because that's the most intimate part of you with your partner, right? Or
Yeah.
perceptionally, that's what people assume to be the most intimate part. Um, and if I feel like I'm not doing a good job, or you're not satisfied, or it's it's struggling, then that's a failure on my part. And rather than finding out why we're not connecting or how could we connect better or differently, it then comes into that self-fulfilling prophecy that I'm not enough. And I discount everything else I'm doing in the relationship and only see how I'm failing and how I'm not enough. And that part hurts. And it's very hard to step outside of that fear and see everything that I did do or am doing, and that I can't hold the responsibility for all of this. That's a unreasonable expectation of whatever enough looks like, because I can't be everything to the person I'm with, nor do I want to be. You need friends. You need stuff outside of our relationship to give you fulfillment. And I don't feel like I have to be your everything. I don't take ownership of you that way. If we have trust in our relationship, I'm not worried about you going out and cheating on me
Yeah,
because our core should be strong enough that if I have that fear, I'm not going to be here. And
exactly.
so I don't even entertain that. It's not that piece, but um, that is my solid relationship insecurities that I'm not enough, and I think it's because I have to do more self work and growing um, to feel inside my personal self that I alone am enough. Me. And sharing any part of my life with another person has to be enough for them. If not, then we won't stay together. That there's better people out there for both of us. But
Exactly.
that's real hard.
Where you going?
I know you want to do it. I saw you over there signing. I saw you over there. She was signing part of your when you were talking.
I'm working on it. I need to
Yeah,
put up my church finger and put a side
go
note to
ahead.
my Miss Lowe. You know, Lowe, I just love you. You know, y'all, I am like legit like blessed. And it's just so funny. So I'm gonna start it off with saying thank you for your vulnerability. Both
Mhm.
you and Constance. Y'all are really getting that vulnerable out. But Lowe, oh my God. If you knew, and I don't even live with you, girl, the stuff you bring to the table. Like, I don't know if this is just me like doing the affirmation or not, but I'll be like,
We
God
on it
damn,
today.
I need a Low on my side. Like, legit,
Woo.
I need one of those, one of her. Like, I need a what they call them? They can be cloning people nowadays and shit. Yeah.
Oh my
I
lord.
need one of that. Like, can you make me a duplicate of you? Girl, you are enough in every freaking way. And just so whatever, I know we all got our insecurities, but whatever is in like deep in you saying that you're not enough, bitch, you bring so much to the table. Do you hear me?
Facts. Yep.
Like, can
Thank
I
you.
borrow her? Like, that's the thing. If y'all only knew,
Yes.
like,
Like I think it's deep. Like we've talked childhood trauma a lot, and I think that's where it started for me is because in sports you're constantly being pushed to be better,
Competitive.
to
yeah, I
compete
know
at
that.
the highest level, and anything less than perfection is not good enough.
Exactly.
And so it's like you're always chasing this unattainable high of what perfect looks like, and that doesn't exist. So it, from a sports analogy, became an ingrained personal characteristic that I just took over. And I think I did that a lot with things in my childhood, whether they were, because sports was the place that I felt the most connected to my parents. Outside of that, it was a little rocky. There wasn't a lot of other emotional support. So if it was about sports, they were invested, they were interested,
Mhm.
they they were putting time into me. But it was always time into improving, which that
Make you
means
feel,
right
yeah,
here where I'm at is not good
good
enough.
enough. Yeah.
I should be better. I should be doing more. I could have been, out running or taking extra free throws or practicing my ball handling skills. And I didn't because I wanted a day off. Like, sounds like a character flaw, right? No.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Not in real
it's
life, but yeah.
breaking all of those kind of sports things and putting them back into their appropriate bucket. That's not a personality life thing. That should be over here and directed into its own lane. But it just, grades always have to be higher. Um, the public perception of you and our family needs to be more. More of what? I don't know.
But just
But
more.
right here, this is not enough. So, that was deep. That was deep for me. All the way down to all the way up. And Aaron, I appreciate you so much for seeing it because I mean, we are through a mutual friend and we're working on a relationship with each other, but I don't see you enough to know that you have that perception of me,
I love you too,
right?
girl.
So To hear that, it's just like, damn, I must be doing something right.
You are, girl. Yes.
I think, but low, like it low. Like I think, I think what you're saying is like it's so amazing because I think I can't tell anybody else about their childhood and what they've experienced. However, I identify so much with exactly what you're saying, but along the lines of religion and church bases.
Oh
So
yeah.
you
Hmm.
your family and what it is for sports and to be at a certain level. You get what I'm saying? And versus
Yeah.
you just being who you are and you know you're thriving and you're doing good, but never not enough. I think that it's all identified too deep down what you feeling. Like I
Yeah.
definitely identify with that, but in that area, you know, and I think
Hmm.
that's a lot of the whole. That's a girl. That's a whole other topic on another day. So I'm gonna say my
That's
piece for
so.
that's a deep rooted
It is.
religion and
Even
Don't
girl.
just
bring
the
religion
sports.
into it.
But even just the sports. So like, it's funny. I did all the sports. I tried to be in everything so that my parents would come and pay attention to me. I
Mm.
felt like if I'm doing something that other people's parents and other kids are coming to see me do, they're gonna show up. I know it. They're gonna come. And when it didn't happen, I kept trying. Let's be clear. I didn't stop at that. I just kept going, and then I went to make this decision with my life after graduation, and then I did this, and then I did that, and then I realized, oh, you got to stop because I got to college, and I was spending a lot of money, um, for a degree that I didn't want, just so I could make my parents see me. So I definitely feel you. Definitely feel you.
And I
I
mean, if
just
we
use
go
this.
back off of that though, like even if we go back off of that, like all the experiences that we've all had, I want to say my sophomore to junior year in college was when I had the most fun when I was out there. Might I say? And who was I with, Miss Monet? Like legitly.
See,
So I feel like because I was at that particular university before she arrived, you know, and I had my little freshman fun. But I have to definitely say like good, bad, and compass. I think that like the most heightened time out of that experience. So I want to say like I love you being you and what okay, so I guess
well,
I
thank you.
definitely want to identify like we all bring something to the table from past history, and that's what made us
Mhm.
who we are from then
Yes,
now from wherever we came from. But when I say the friendship with you and I think we talked about that last, so I'm like that last topic, but I'm not gonna go into
yeah.
that. But when I say like it's just so funny how we all bring stuff to the table and
Mhm.
might not see it, but bruh, I had the best time in that's when things begin. I guess you can say for me and like the
Yeah,
the loving and the relationship building in the area, like,
because
okay,
I'm a forceful friend. I'm a forceful
man.
friend. You can't not be my friend.
I mean, but it ain't even just that, just like it's another time. I tell you all the time on our one-on-ones, man.
I
But
know.
from that point, like, girl, you know how I am with people when it comes to it. But baby, when it came
Yeah.
to me and you, like I just feel like from riding out super drunk at night, like all
Walking down 6th Street from college classes to have a drink in the middle. Yes. Wonderful
going
days.
80 to
We were
100
of age. Let's
at
be
night,
clear.
like,
I wasn't a young
you
whippersnapper in
know,
college. I was grown. I was
18 wheelers honking horns while we on the
right.
freeway. Ah,
Just fun stuff. Fun stuff. Fun always.
hanging out the windows, knowing we
I
doing everything we don't
I
need to be
plead
doing.
the fifth. Let me
18 wheelers
What
like,
happened in
18
college
wheelers
stays in college.
falling out, honestly, wherever you wake up, your eyes wake up, like.
exactly, and you just go because you got to put them sunglasses on. You put that bun up.
And
Put
I
on the
think, you know, like
sweatpants.
when you're in college too, though, like you just run across a lot of different fucking people. And I mean, that's the
Yeah,
experience of college, though. You
yeah,
meet people from all walks of life. But I feel like when it came to case in point, your past and with how you grew up in your household made you who you was on that day. So when
yes,
I think I wouldn't change none of it. You know,
yeah.
we had
Me
our
neither.
moments, we cry and stuff like that, but
That's the best
I'm
part of this
so
friendship,
grateful
girl.
to God how we like how we came under submission with one another. Like I just feel like
Yeah,
it was divine purpose, and it was just like this is what a friendship, this is what a sisterhood type shit looks like. You know,
and as we
like
grow, it just keeps getting better.
man, better for real. So I'm
Yeah.
so grateful for the experience. Lolo, Girl, you in that thing with me. So yeah, through a
That's
mutual
it.
friend, but it's nothing but beauty in it. Like
Mhm.
just see the
Yeah.
lure outside of it. So girl, I love
Hmm.
you to pieces.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So, ladies, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up for tonight. We don't look. Lexi B had to go real quick. She had to go, y'all. She had to send me that message real quick. She had
I
to
know,
go,
girl.
but
I'm over here like laughing
yes,
hard. All
yes.
right, Lexi
But
B, we gonna see you next time.
yes, yes, yes. Of course we will. But yes, thank you, ladies, so much for joining me today. Thank everyone for coming and paying attention to us. Yes. Listen, like it, subscribe. Make sure you keep watching. Every Thursday, we'll be posting to make sure that everyone gets new content, new love, new conversations. And we just want to grow everybody's life and offer anyone who doesn't have a group. It's not just a sister group, not just anything, but anyone who doesn't have a group of people to have a conversation with, the opportunity to come in and just be with us, listen, banter while you watching, and leave some messages and let us know how you feel about everything. All right. Good night, ladies.
Good night.